So, let's jump to Darksiders 2. My favorite one. Death, as you know, I already said how much I love him, the snarky edgelord, the damn sass king, Death. He is my favorite character to play as in a video game. I love his fluent gameplay. I love how savage and quick he was. I mean, I use the heavy weapons as well with him, but I mostly played around with his dual scythes. I just loved using those things to slash through everything, and I never got tired of hearing his voice. Like, it was so cool and gritty. I love what the voice actor did. I really wish I remembered his name. I will say he is the bad guy from The Crow. That's the only thing I remember. I'm really sorry that I don't remember his name because I really freaking love his work as Death. I just love it. His interaction with everybody was priceless, pretty much. I loved every single bit of him talking with somebody. It was just great. His action sequences, the Guardian fight, the Samael fight, the Archon fight, all those things, that some of my favorite boss fights. Even the last boss to an extent. A bit of a pushover, but still fun. I love the game. The second game was my favorite. I love doing side quests, as I said. The story was a little less structured, but the music, the gameplay, the main character, they were all such positive points that I didn't really care. And this game, I am planning to get for my PS4 now, so I can play it, and also Darksiders 1, so I can play those games again at some point. Because my PS3 isn't around and my PlayStation 4 is ready for that Darksiders 3, baby. So, let's get to the next horseman, which is Strife. Basically, what I think about Strife, let's see, he has a really cool design. The gunslinging aspect is a very interesting one, in my opinion. They could do a lot of fun things with him. Obviously, they need to go for a melee build as well. Like, they have to give him some kind of a close-range weapon, or just something around the lines. But regardless, what I think about his design, I think it's awesome. I think they're gonna change it like they did with Furies, but not too much. Not to detach too much from the main design. I like him, and I hope that he is kind of like the edgy, like the really over-the-top edgy character, like, and the rebel of the group would be nice, but honestly, Fury is kind of taking that role right now. So I'm not sure where I'd like him to stand as a character. Strife will get his fame back as soon as he gets his game anyway. I mean, Strife will never die as fame of a character in the Darksiders community anyway. He is too much of a flexible character right now for the fandom. Like, they will do all the little comics, all the goofy stuff with him, and they can kind of like guess what his personality will be. So, and my final opinions on Strife is that I'm really looking forward to his game as well. I think he's a bit part of me think he's overrated in the fandom, but that is mostly because I think that people liking him overshadow the fact that Fury is an awesome character, kind of thing. It's a very like personal gripe that makes probably makes no sense, but it does bother me to an extent because everybody's like, oh, Strife is cooler and stuff like that. I'm like, come on, give her a chance, kind of thing. But that's my opinion in general about Strife. I like his design. I think he'll be an awesome thing to tackle as far as gameplay mechanics, and we'll see where it goes. Now, to the last one. The last one, the Queen, Fury, is definitely my second favorite, as I've already mentioned it. But mostly I would say by design. Like, she has a really cool metal design, a lot more dark than her first design, obviously, because she has more armor on, and the black is more how do you say, underlined. I'm not sure, but regardless, I really like her design. She really looks cool, and I love her, like how they're building up her character. She is a total, totally different character than I expected her to be when reading the books and the comics. It's great. She's very impatient, very rude, if you will. She is she's like fuck humanity kind of thing. Her personality to her, I love it. Like, she has some sarcastic levels that reach depth, but I'm not sure she'll ever top that boy. But for sure, this character is my bread and butter for sure. Like, after hearing some dialogue, I tried to avoid watching most of the Darksiders stuff that they're putting out. because I really want to go into that game with no spoilers at all, and I really want to get into it without like figuring out what the story is. I'm kind of figuring it out on my own, but I prefer to see all the elements without knowing how they unfold. So, since this segment's like this part of the video will definitely be about me talking about Fury, let's get to it. So, I love Fury's design, as we said, like the new one is really cool. I'm glad that Joe Mad, even though wasn't able to be part of this new game, he still managed to make a few like sketches of her and making her design. So people like the people at Gunfire Games could actually like work on it from there. And that was really cool of him, and that was really cool to to have as a concept. So, as far as the game, like I will say this, I have a special relationship with the with this whole situation of both the character coming back and the series coming back, like most people that are fans of this series. A funny fact, I'll tell you about this little story. I think we have enough time. Yeah, we do. So, basically, this game was dead in 2000. I believe in 2013, around that time, like the end of it, it was announced that THQ Nordic, the THQ would close, like the company THQ. A lot of the properties were like at risk, including Darksiders, and the Darksiders series was not picked up by anybody, and that got us all worried. Like the fans, we got really worried. And it was like that. Basically, we had to accept our fate kind of situation, in which we were like, well, Darksider is dead. A series that was so like awesome and so like inclined to show this big picture of the four horsemen of the apocalypse fighting everybody like hell and heaven. It was such a fucking build-up. And I'm talking specifically about the ending of the first game. The end of the game of Darksiders 1 ends with the build-up that the other three horsemen are crashing down on Earth to join their brother War. And the second game that features Death has Death sacrificing himself to bring back humanity, and then I mean basically getting brought back to life because it like connects to the sequence in which we have the final ending of the first game, in which he comes with his sister and brother. So the series was dead, as I was saying, and we were worried that it will never come back. Like there was no way, like nobody was buying the series, and we were worried. And then it happened. In a funny fact, I don't know, like this is a very specific, like personal thing, but basically there's something called Name Day. I'm not sure it's something that you have in America or like in other places around the world, but in Bulgaria you have a name day. My name is Boris, so like there was the Boris Day basically on the 2nd of May. And my god, in 2017, 2nd of May, we had the leak of the images, like of Darksiders, like the cover, some pictures of the game, and I got fucking like I was shaking. I had a hard time breathing. It was insane. I've never had that kind of feelings for anything else. I was worried, but at the same time, I was like, I was so excited because not only do we see the return of Darksiders as a game, but we saw the return of Darksiders with Fury as the main protagonist, which I was a big fan of in the comics and the book. I was super excited for this. I couldn't contain my feelings. I was very excited. I could hardly breathe, as I said, and the excitement was overflowing. It was great. I didn't know how to react almost because I was like, oh my god, Darksiders 3 is coming, like it's coming and it's with Fury, like the horseman I wanted to play is the most. I mean, I was expecting Strife to be the next one, honestly, because everybody wanted Strife more than Fury. At least it seemed like that. Everybody that was vocal about from the fandom, I always heard that they were expecting like Strife to be the next one. They wanted Strife to be the next one. So I was even more excited because we got Fury instead. I just don't know what to say about this anymore other than the fact that I was very like happy to find that the series was brought back in full force, And then they started releasing the alphas and all that kind of stuff. There was some negative opinions about it, but it was like early gaming stages, of course. But there was a lot of positive as well. Um, and honestly, that's what we should take about this whole situation anyway. So, um, as far as Fury is concerned, I am very excited. I'm super excited to see her in action. I really want to see how we deal with these sins. I even, like, I had to save money at this point. Like, I couldn't afford the Apocalypse Edition, which is like a hefty price. It's something I can't pay because I'm not, like, I just don't have the money. But I was able to save enough to get the Collector's Edition that will have a Fury statue and a few other goodies. And I pre-ordered it in a store that is like 5 minutes from me. So as soon as the date comes, I'll get my little receipt and I'll go there super excited and take my big box of a collector's edition. And I will get to play that game immediately. So, with that said, it's like almost 3 days. It's like basically 3 days from now. I'm dating this video, I don't really care. Of the registration. It should be like, it should be around that. And yeah, it's kind of sad that this whole section of the video I'm like talking like I had a more structured thing in my head, but I'm like just I mean I did say that it's rambling, but it's still kind of annoying that I can't make like there's a lot what I'm trying to get at. Sorry if I start interrupting myself in this, but and I did justify it by saying rambling, but still. I really want to say a lot of stuff about this. I want to say a lot about the Fury stuff. I want to say a lot about the Darksiders stuff, how it influenced me in art, like I was saying. But it's just too much. It's just too much to talk about. And I'm honestly gonna propose something if you are interested. If you want, I can do more of these. Like it'll be unstructured, of course, because I do commissions and I do my own fantasy comic books, like with my own characters. And I also do other like fan art projects, and I'll probably be doing more Darksiders fan art as well. And what I'm getting at is, it would be fun to actually like to do more of these segments, more concentrated. Maybe I write up something instead, but I like the rambling thing. It's just like having a conversation anyway. So what I'm getting at is, I think that we can get at something like if you want, I can make a video in which I talk about like topics. I mean, I'll be doing more segments of these, even not Darksiders related. I think they're fun to do. But if you want more Darksiders stuff, about me talking more about specific stuff, like you can be asking me specific questions and I can get on with it, like talk about it, like even more from an artistic point of view, or simply talking about what I like about the lore. You can ask me about specific characters, and I might be drawing them as well. It could be a coincidence, we'll see. But generally, I could do these in a more interactive way. I could be like, say, drawing Samael and talking about like specifically about Samael, what I like about him, his design, like and his involvement in the story that I enjoyed. It could be something like that. But as far as I'm concerned, this is all that I have to say so far, and I have a lot more to say about Darksiders. It's a little more, it's even more unstructured than I thought it would be, but it doesn't really matter. The views are gonna be so little anyway that I don't really care. It's rambling. It's all justified. And that's about it for this segment. I hope you had fun watching this, and let me know if you're interested in seeing more videos like this. Besides that, I wish you all the best. See you in the next video.